Zelenskyy challenged Putin. The president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, instructed his delegation to prepare negotiations with Vladimir Putin in Geneva.
Oh, and after Zelenskyy scheduled a meeting with him in Geneva, here's what Putin did. Yeah, Putin really messed himself out of fear. Well, it's obvious after all, who is the president of Russia? By the way, write your answer in the comments.
You are a coward, a total coward, and a complete coward.
Well, basically, there's Peskov covering for his boss.
The current diplomatic negotiations are at a very sensitive stage that really should not involve any public discussion.
All right. So in fact, it turns out that...
Wait, does that mean Vladimir Vladimirovich is afraid?
Not just afraid, but so panicked with fear that Putin disappeared for 12 days. So to speak, he buried his head in the sand.
Putin disappeared for a week. Everyone was shouting about his departure, but in reality, the truth turned out to be scarier.
Of course, it's scarier. Rumor has it that at first, the bunker dweller was spotted near the Kremlin hospital.
The president was feeling unwell. The security offered doctors from the motorcade.
Well, obviously it's better to go to the hospital doctors than to end up with Zelenskyy.
Putin entered the hospital, and the doctors weren't afraid of him.
Yeah, no one is even afraid of that nasty little Putin in hospitals anymore. But as for Diamond Medvedev, even the doctors are scared of him.
Did you say Kaja Kallas? Then who is that? Even colleagues don't talk to this person. Oh.
You need to have a snack. Here's what I'm curious about. What's up with Diamond's face? So red? Seriously, like the flag of the Soviet Union. He just hasn't sobered up yet. He was getting laser hair removal. Or maybe he smashed his face against the floor while bowing to Putin. What do you think?
So, as it turns out, they clearly don't consider it appropriate to condescend to the level of engaging with an entire High Representative for the Foreign and Security International Affairs of the European Union just to meet with her. If you have noticed, the foreign ministers of many different European countries now consistently refuse to engage in direct communication with her.
The Kremlin maniacs are really in agony now. Well, you've seen Demon's delirium, but even Putin himself is having a fit. He decided to argue with Gleb Zheglov. For the younger audience, that's a character known for the legendary phrase about how a thief should be in prison.
A thief should be in prison. But there are nuances. To put someone behind bars right away for some minor offenses, that's not always justified.
Wait, hold on. So, does this mean that Putin is so afraid of the BSU, so scared that they'll force him to fly to Geneva, that they've done it again? Did they send out the lisping double in public again? Just listen to this.
Of course, the most important thing, and we know this very well from our long years spent at the university and the research institute.
Oh, what a disgrace you are, Russia. And it doesn't even matter whether it was a double, a triple, or the real Putin. Over there in their swamps, there are plenty of disgraceful people. They are united by Putin alone. For example, in Geneva, the pseudo-historian Medinsky embarrassed himself in front of all of Russia.
Finland is a refuge for the wretched Chukna, as Pushkin wrote. Finland is the poorest province of the Swedish kingdom.
My respects, that was said decisively. Poor Finns. However, there is a nuance. GDP per capita in Finland is almost 3 to 4 times higher than in Russia. I won't even mention the average salary. It got to the point, by the way, that after the negotiations in Geneva, even his own so-called patriots started mocking Medinsky the clown. What a state of affairs. Not quite imperialists anymore.
That's all we wanted to say. Thank you.
No, there were no questions raised about territorial security or humanitarian issues. Were there at least any short stories? Tell me.